Hi everyone, so it's time for another roundup of monthly favourites, and these are going to be all the products that I was using a lot and enjoying throughout the month of March. And I do have quite a few things to get through here, so let's start. So the first two are a shampoo and conditioner combo, and I have so many bottles of shampoo and conditioner, most of them don't even match, just sitting in my cupboards, either used a couple of times and forgotten about, or nearly used up and sort of just chucked to the side. So I decided if I'm going to try out a new shampoo, I should probably get a mini size, and these are the Frieda Luxurious Volume shampoo and conditioner. One of my favourite bloggers and YouTubers, Amelia Liana, always raves about this stuff, and it's a really cheap line actually. These two little ones cost me $1.99 each, but I did get them when they were on a 3 for 2, so that was quite a good bargain. I do struggle quite often to find a good shampoo for me. My hair gets a little bit greasier towards the roots, but it's quite dry at the end, so I want something that's going to take away all that dirt but not dry it out completely. So this is nice because it does really give a boost of volume. It really kind of takes away any dirt and grime left in your hair, but it doesn't leave any thickening kind of texture to it. It doesn't leave any product in it, but it really just makes it feel kind of weightless and nice and refreshed. I've actually used both of these up now, and I think I got about 5 or 6 washes out of them, so I've been using them pretty much all month, so I think I'll definitely be buying the bigger sizes. So I kind of go through phases of how I like to style my hair, and a couple of months ago I was just leaving it and kind of letting its natural texture come through, which is sort of straight with a little bit of wave in it, but at the moment I've really been enjoying curling it, and I actually wore it in this sort of curly style in my Q&A video, and a lot of people did ask me, what do you use, how did you curl it like that? So the tool that I've been using pretty much all month is this, and this is just one of my old favourites. I've had it for so long, and it's the TRESemme curling wand. I think they only come in one size, so it's the standard size, but it's a nice thick barrel. It has a slightly tapered edge, so the curls kind of look a bit more natural that way, but it just gives this nice sort of kind of weightless, effortless looking curl, and I don't really section my hair off too much when I use this. I just tend to grab random pieces, and again I find that makes it look a bit more natural. And then I've just been spraying a little bit of hairspray through, kind of messing up with my fingers a little bit, or just back combing it slightly at the root, and that's pretty much how I've been wearing my hair all month. So I might do a little video, a quick kind of hair styling routine video if anybody's interested, so let me know if you'd like to see that. I only actually have one skincare favourite here, and this is the Kiehls Ultra Facial Cream, and I think I actually mentioned this back in my January favourites as well, which is sort of around the time that I bought it and first started using it and was really impressed by it. And this is the cream that I used in my evening skincare routine, and I really like it. Usually with kind of moisturising things, I do struggle to find a good one for my skin. They're either too rich or not rich enough, and especially in the evening, which is when I tend to use this, I need something that's going to last me throughout the whole night, because I do sometimes wake up and if I haven't worn a hydrating enough moisturiser, my skin feels quite dry and tight in the mornings. The texture of this is lovely because it is really rich, really hydrating, and yet it doesn't feel sticky on the skin. It really sinks in incredibly well and really quickly as well, but it still feels like it's moisturising for a long time, so I do wake up in the morning and feel like my skin is really hydrated when I'm wearing this. And I've even been using it in the day too. My skin's been going through a bit of a dry phase at the moment, and sometimes makeup doesn't sit too well on dry skin, so this has been really nice too. It's not rich enough that it makes my makeup look greasy or shiny, and yet it still keeps my skin really moisturised, so that's definitely a skincare favourite this month. This is probably the most expensive primer I've ever actually bought, which does make me kind of wince inside a little bit when I remember how much I paid for it, but I'm looking at it as more of an investment now, and it's the Chanel Le Blanc de Chanel, and this stuff is kind of like magic in a bottle. It has quite a moisturising texture to it, but it is really lightweight. It's almost like a lotion, but it just manages to give your skin this incredible glow and radiance and brightness. It's just amazing, although it doesn't even have any glitter or sparkle or shimmer in it at all, and I've put it on my hand and held it up to sunlight and there's just nothing there, so I'm not sure how this stuff works. It's definitely magic, but it's a really beautiful primer to put on before your foundation if you just feel like you need that bit of boost and a bit of radiance. Speaking of foundation, I do have one here, and this is cheating slightly because I only actually found it about a week ago, but I've been wearing it non-stop ever since, and I just love it. It was love at first application with this one, and it's the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation, and I've never actually tried a foundation from Bobbi Brown before. I'm a massive fan of their corrector. I have to use that every single day, but I've never really tried out their bases. I was at the counter and I was just trying everything out, and I put this on the back of my hand, and it just felt so thin. It felt like there was nothing really to it, but it felt like it was giving a bit of coverage to my hand as well. So I bought it and I tried it out, and it just it feels so weightless. I have it on today and I can barely feel like I'm wearing foundation, and I've kind of got to the point now, I used to be really into my heavy coverages, but I'm much more into the lighter feel. I can't really stand having a heavy foundation on my skin. The coverage this gives though is so lovely. I've been using it on a buffing brush as I do with most of my foundations, and it just sort of buffs away all the imperfections, any redness, any uneven pigmentation, and just makes your skin look so fresh and so healthy, but pretty much like your natural skin, so it doesn't look like you're actually wearing makeup at all. And I know some people feel like they need more of a coverage, but I think this gives a pretty decent coverage, even up to sort of medium to full if you really layer it, and yet it still feels really light. So I'm a massive fan of this one at the moment, but I do probably need to try it out for a bit longer, but at the moment it's definitely my favourite foundation. There's also a concealer that I've really been enjoying, and it's the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and I actually asked on Twitter a while back what all your favourite sort of lower price drugstore concealers were, and I was really surprised how many people said this because I hadn't really heard much about it, and a lot of people were actually comparing it to the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, which is one of my favourites. I wouldn't say it has quite as much coverage as the NARS one, which just seems to conceal absolutely everything, but it is a really nice all-round concealer, so I find I can use this under my eyes, I can use it to cover up blemishes, whereas I would usually need to use 2 different concealers for that. The one problem I do have with this though is the shade choices, and I remember when the whole Fit Me range came out and there was foundations and blushes and concealers and all sorts of things, and there were so many choices, so many different colours, it pretty much filled up the whole Maybelline stand, but over time I think it's kind of dwindled down and there are less colours and they've taken quite a lot away, so it was really hard to find a good colour, and I went with number 15 in the end, which is actually the second one. I think there's about 4 or 5 shades in the concealer range, but the first one was really dark and I think it was really quite orange, so I had to go for the second, which is a bit confusing because normally I would be the lightest of all of them. It does match my skin quite well though. It is slightly on the pinky side, but I think once your foundation's on it all sort of blends together quite nicely, but if you have a bit more of a darker skin tone, or if you are really fair, it may not be the best one for you. Now the next 2 favourites are lip glosses, and I'm kind of surprised that I'm including lip glosses in a favourites video because I'm not a massive lip gloss fan at all, but I brought these back in my spring makeup haul when all the Boots makeup was on 3 for 2, and they are the Maybelline Colour Sensational Shine Glosses, and I have become a lip gloss convert. I absolutely love these. I'm wearing one today, and this is the lighter of the 2, which is Cashmere Rose, and I also have Glorious Grapefruit, and these are such pretty shades, but I think my favourite thing about them is just the formula. I'd almost describe them as kind of like a lip balm texture. They're nothing at all like the normal lip glosses that can be quite sticky and tacky and just feel really horrible on your lips. So I've been wearing them pretty much non-stop this month. You've probably seen them in quite a few videos, and I like to put them in my handbag too because they're just the quickest thing to throw on when you're in a rush. Pastel nail varnish has definitely made a bit of a comeback in my nail wardrobe this month. I kind of went through a phase of not really wearing nail varnish at all, and then I was really into nudes, but now I'm really back into the pastels, and I have 2 favourites here that I've been wearing pretty much back to back all month. The first one is what I have on my nails today, and this is a new colour from the BLOGLOVIN Jelly Shine range, and they're some of my absolute favourite nail varnish formulas. I think the jellies stick around for so long and they're really glossy, and the formulas are brilliant, and this is in the shade Huckelberry, and they've brought out 2 others in the pastel range. There's a pink and a green, which I also really like, but this sort of cornflower light blue has definitely been my favourite. There's also been quite a few other pastel nail varnish launches from other brands too, and one of my favourites from all of those is from L'Oreal, and they brought out I think a kind of yellow and a green and a pink, so quite similar to the BLOGLOVIN, but this shade is really different. It's not one that I've really seen before, and it's called Nouvelle Vague, and it's a lilac shade, but it's definitely more on the kind of bluey side, so it's almost like a kind of lavendery purpley pastel. It's really pretty and really quite unique, I think. So those 2 have been on my nails all month, and I've really been enjoying pastel shades, and those are all my favourites from the month of March. So I hope you enjoyed watching that. Let me know again if you'd like to see me do a quick sort of hairstyling update routine video, and I will see you all soon.